All right, here we are. We're back. We are back, ready for action. You're ready for action. You got your notes. You're taking your notes. You got your notebook, your pen. You're taking notes. One thing I want to just say about the last video. In that last video, I said something wrong. I said we're in section 3 and we're focusing. It's the bulk. It's everything. It's not. There's actually a lot more in section 4. It is actionable things. It is getting down to the work. But there are 2 sections where we're getting down to the work. I forgot that I had so much to talk about, like massive value. I'm sharing so much that like I forgot. So this section 3 is essentially about controlling the controllable. And as a preview in section 4, I'm going to talk about um, impressing people with the little things. So impressing people, that's coming up soon, and it's very important to impress people. And we'll get into all of that without being like a try hard impressing people. But we're talking about controlling the controllables here. I should have mentioned that in the first video for this one, but I forgot. So what are you gonna do? Okay, so here we're going to talk about developing your skills. So multiple sports, film, YouTube, like through ChatGPT, like all these things. We're going to talk about developing your skills, and I mentioned some of this before, so this is gonna be a short video. You want to be a multi-sport athlete, okay? There's a lot of people who are about specialization. There's a weird narrative that if you don't do the travel sports and you're not playing this sport year round, then you're going to get left behind. It's a racket. It's a joke. It's not true. Okay? Your favorite athletes played multiple sports. Period. At some point they may have specialized, but like Patrick Mahomes was a pro baseball prospect and a pro football prospect. Kyler Murray, same deal. Like specialization is dumb. I mean, I don't say it's dumb, but it's not great. It basically puts you in this position where your body is more susceptible to just wear and tear, strain. Um, it invites burnout. You could get really bored with what you're doing, and if you're burnt out, you're not having fun. If you're not having fun, you quit. We talked about that earlier, right? And if you quit, if you're not in the game, you're not in the game. And if you're not in the game now, then later on in life, you're going to leave the game a lot sooner. And by leaving the game, I mean you're not going to be able to run around and play with your kids. I'm chasing my kids around, and my knees feel great. Well, they could feel better if I didn't play as many years of football, but and did something a little bit lower impact. But play multiple sports. I played football, basketball, baseball, loved them all, and eventually I was forced out of baseball, and I wasn't forced out of football. But yeah, you're developing different motor skills. I mentioned injury protection and burnout defense. Like there's so many things, so much value in it. And I would even suggest that not even just being a multi-sport athlete, but I mean, I guess like martial arts is a sport. I mean, if you're competing or whatever. I had one of my teammates with the Dolphins. This dude, Jason Taylor, he's a Hall of Fame defensive end. He was listed at 265, but like mid-season, he was running around there about like 6'6", 235 pounds. Pretty slim. Not the strongest guy. But before we're doing pass rush drills, before he'd go, he'd look at me and he'd be like, hey, what do you want me to do to this guy? You want me to put him on his butt or blow by him? And I was like, oh man, I want to see you put this guy on his butt. Like he is 350 pounds. I want him on his butt. And he would be like, do 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 do, and boop, boop, boop. And the guy's on the ground, like, how do you do that? And he said, my parents put me in Taekwondo when I was like 6. And with Taekwondo, I learned how to leverage people's body weight against them. So I can get people off balance while keeping myself in balance, body control, that's great. I wish I'd done that. So it's important to have a variety. I mean, you also don't want to be constantly doing things. You want to have a life too. You know, your job is kid, not athlete. So have fun, right? But like I played 3 sports and until like my baseball coach basically kicked me out of baseball. I mean, I made the baseball team, you know, JV made the baseball team, but then I didn't play the whole season. It was weird. Like the first day of a 4-day tryout, I made it. They were like, "You're good. You're on the team. Don't worry about coming back for the next 3 days of tryouts." All right, great. Get to the season. I play maybe three innings the entire season. At the end of the season, I'm in the weight room with my brother, and the baseball coach for the varsity team came up to me and was like, "Don't come out for the team next year. You won't make it." And then he said the same thing to my brother, who was also on the baseball team with me. I used to think that it was about him not liking me or something really nefarious. I didn't know what it was, but it really bothered me. And I never played baseball again after that. Like my favorite sport, the sport that I played from the time I was 5 years old, I was done at like 16 and still could have played 2 more years and probably couldn't have played in college, but who knows? But I think it was because the football coaches just wanted me to focus on football. So develop your skills. You're going to work on those agility drills, the things that we mentioned in that last video through ChatGPT. If you're using agility drills that the NFL uses to evaluate talent at the combine, and you're doing that consistently and you're tracking it, you're tracking and measuring, and you're seeing the progress because you're paying attention and you're bringing friends along to push you to compete in a healthy way, not compare, you're actually going to see massive transformation, all without an expensive trainer and the time that it takes to go drive, to go see the trainer and work out with all these other kids. So like there's all these other people and you're just wasting time waiting and waiting and waiting. So yeah, short video. How short? 8 minutes. Look at me. I am getting better at like being brief. I could still do better, but here we go. Next video. See you soon.